We all know that life can be overwhelming and sometimes it feels like we're constantly juggling too many things. It's so hard to find time for ourselves when there is so many demands on our time. We feel guilty if we take a break, but then we get stressed out because we're not taking care of everything. In this video, we'll share some tips on how to simplify your life and make more time for yourself. We'll show you how to declutter your home and your schedule and how to say no to things that don't matter. Follow these tips and you'll be able to breathe easier and enjoy life more. Life can be overwhelming due to numerous demands on our time. We often feel like we're juggling too many tasks with not enough hours in the day to complete them all. It's hard to find time for ourselves when we're constantly putting out fires, running errands, and taking care of family responsibilities. The constant pressure of trying to stay on top of everything builds up stress and fatigue that can have a damaging effect on our well-being over time. When we don't give ourselves a chance to relax and recharge, it's easy to become overwhelmed by all the tasks ahead of us. We may begin feeling guilty for taking breaks or time off, but this can lead to further stress if not addressed properly. Fortunately, there are some simple ways to simplify our lives and make more time for ourselves without compromising other priorities. Decluttering your home and schedule is a good place to start. Removing unnecessary items and activities from our lives allows us to focus energy on what matters most. Learning how to say no is another key skill. Identifying where you can say no graciously reduces the load on your plate while still being respectful of others' needs. By following these tips, you'll be able to breathe easier knowing that you're taking care of yourself and creating more balance in your life. You'll also enjoy life more as you free up more space in your schedule for relaxation and leisure activities that bring joy into your life. Why it's important to take time for ourselves. It's essential to take time for ourselves in order to avoid burnout and live a healthy, balanced life. When we don't give ourselves breaks and moments of rest, our mental and physical health can suffer as we become overwhelmed by stress hormones such as cortisol. We may also start having difficulty sleeping or concentrating, which can further worsen our ability to manage our lives effectively. Taking time for ourselves also helps us maintain our emotional balance. It gives us the necessary space to practice self-care activities that help alleviate stress, such as meditation, mindfulness techniques, or even simple breathing exercises. It also allows us to get in touch with our feelings and make sure we don't neglect any of them, so that they don't come back later on in more intense ways. Moreover, taking some time off gives us the opportunity to focus on the present moment and appreciate what it has to offer. Mindful activities such as yoga or walking can help us become more aware of how precious each moment is, while hobbies like cooking or reading allows us to indulge in enjoyable activities with no pressure attached. This can help reduce anxiety levels and improve mental clarity so that when it comes to dealing with challenging tasks, we are better equipped both mentally and physically. Decluttering your home. Tips on decluttering the physical living space, such as organizing closets, drawers, and other areas of the house that are prone to clutter. Organizing closets, drawers, and other areas of the house can be a daunting task. When it comes to decluttering your physical living space, the goal is to clear out what you don't need and make room for what you do need. This can be accomplished by sorting items into categories and evaluating their usefulness to you. Once you have decided what to keep and what to discard, it's important to find ways to store the items in an orderly fashion for easy retrieval when needed. When organizing closets, start by removing everything from the closest and assessing which items are necessary and which ones should be discarded or donated. This is also a good time to clean out the closet so that any dust or dirt particles are removed before putting items back in. After discarding unneeded items, create design sections within the closet based on type of item. Example, clothing, shoes, or example, formal wear. For example, if you have a lot of clothes, separate them into different sections such as tops, dresses, pants, etc. so you can easily find what you're looking for without rummaging through piles of random clothing pieces. Drawers can also be organized similarly. Start by removing all contents and discarding or donating anything that won't be used anymore. Assess whether each item has its own designated spot or whether there may need to be some reorganizing done. This could include creating dividers with cardstock paper so smaller items like socks and underwear don't get lost among larger objects like sweaters and accessories. To ensure the drawers remain neat even after being opened multiple times per day, consider using drawer organizers such as small bins with dividers for optimal organization. Finally, evaluate other areas of your home where clutter tends to accumulate more quickly, such as entryways or hallways where coats, hats, and mittens often end up in piles on the floor. Investing in coat racks or wall hooks would help keep these items off of the floor and out of sight when not in use. Similarly, placing baskets near entryways provides storage spots for gloves while keeping them handy when needed. No more scrambling around in search of missing pieces. Suggestions for how to make a regular decluttering routine and stick with it. Creating a routine for decluttering can be beneficial in the long run. It ensures that the task doesn't become overwhelming or tiring. Starting with small goals and gradually increasing them is one way to stay motivated and make progress. For example, setting a goal of decluttering one drawer or closet per week can help to make steady progress without feeling empty. Ideas on how to get rid of items that no longer serve a purpose or are taking up unnecessary space. When it comes to getting rid of items that no longer serve a purpose or are taking up unnecessary space, there are several options available. One option is to donate them to a charity organizations or donation centers in your local area. This helps those in need and is a great way to give back to the community. Decluttering your schedule. When it comes to decluttering your schedule, it is important to prioritize tasks and activities so you can focus on what truly matters in the long run. Taking the time to evaluate your current activities and commitments can help you identify which tasks are no-brainers, essential for survival, and which ones are not worth investing in. For example, if you find that you're spending too much time scrolling through social media, cutting back may free up more valuable time for others things like reading a book or exercising, activities that can contribute to your overall health and well-being in a tangible way. In addition to cutting back on non-essential activities, it's also important to recognize when something needs to be let go altogether. This could be anything from an extra shift at work or an ongoing club meeting. Letting go of certain activities doesn't always have to be perceived as loss. Instead, it can be seen as creating space for new opportunities and experiences. A great way to start is by asking yourself questions such as, does this activity bring me satisfaction? Is this activity essential? Does this activity support my long-term goals? If the answer is no, then it may be best to move on and find something else that works best for you. Finally, keep in mind that the goal should not be perfection but rather finding balance between commitments and free time. While it's important to stay organized and manage your schedule effectively, don't feel guilty about carving out some downtime for yourself every once in a while, even if it means having an unproductive day. Life is all about finding a healthy balance between work, or school, or family obligations and taking care of yourself, so don't forget to make room for both. Strategies for learning when to say no without feeling guilty or overwhelmed with obligations. Learning when to say no without feeling guilty or overwhelmed with obligations can be challenging. It's important to remember that it is okay to set boundaries and prioritize your own needs, even if that means saying no to a task or request. Practicing self-care and prioritizing your mental health should never be seen as an inconvenience but rather an investment in yourself. At the same time, it is also important to learn how to politely decline requests without feeling guilty. To do this, consider the following strategies. 1. Establish your limits. First off, it's important to establish your personal values and limits ahead of time. This will help you make decisions more easily when asked for a favor or commitment by someone else. Additionally, having clear boundaries and expectations can help ensure that both parties are on the same page before any arrangement is made. 2. Offer alternatives. If you don't feel like you are able to accept a request or obligation at that time, try offering alternatives such as suggesting another person who might be able to help or providing resources which could be useful in completing the task instead of committing yourself directly. 3. Be assertive. It's okay to stand up for yourself. Don't agree just because you're too scared of upsetting someone. Stand firm in what makes you comfortable and don't let anyone make you feel guilty for asserting your boundaries or declining a request outright if necessary. 4. Utilize self-care practices. Taking care of yourself first should always be on the top of your list, so don't forget to schedule some downtime into your routine. Doing things like getting enough sleep, eating healthy meals, exercising regularly, spending quality time with loved ones, etc. will give you the energy boost needed to tackle any obstacles life throws your way while also helping keep stress levels low, which can prevent burnout. 5. Take time to reflect. After saying no, it's important not only take some time for yourself but also reflect on why it was so difficult in the first place. This could provide insight into potential underlying issues that need addressing, such as an overloaded work, school, family schedule, or feelings of guilt associated with turning down requests from family, friends, etc. Taking actionable steps towards improving these areas can help make saying no easier in the future. Simplifying our lives is important to maintain a healthy balance between commitments and free time. When we prioritize our mental health, it can assist in preventing burnout, avoiding stress-related illness, and allowing us to make the most of our valuable time. Taking care of ourselves should never be seen as an inconvenience, but an investment in making sure that we are able to live life to its fullest potential. It is also beneficial to learn how to politely decline requests without feeling guilty about it. Establishing our personal values and limits ahead of time makes decision-making easier and ensures that both parties understand the boundaries before any arrangements are made. If needed, we can offer alternatives such as suggesting another person who might be able to help or providing resources which could be useful in completing the task instead of taking on the responsibility ourselves. It is also important to be assertive when setting boundaries so that others don't take advantage of us by making us feel guilty for upholding our limits. Utilizing self-care practices like getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising regularly, and spending quality time with loved ones can give you the energy boost needed to tackle any obstacle while keeping your stress levels low. Additionally, after declining a request, it is important not to only take some time for yourself but also reflect on why it was so difficult in the first place. This could provide insight into potential underlying issues that need addressing, such as an overloaded work, school, family schedule, or feelings of guilt associated with turning down requests from family, friends, etc. Simplifying one's life doesn't need to mean becoming a hermit. Rather, it should serve as a reminder that while obligations can be overwhelming at times, we should always remember to make room for taking care of ourselves too. By following these tips and strategies outlined above, we can benefit from improved mental health and increased productivity, which will ultimately help us lead more fulfilling lives in the long run. See y'all next time. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day.